Hello everyone, it's Amy and welcome back for week 32 of the new Build Your Stash and Craft. So today we are going to make our own mandalas. And I know when I was younger I used to try and make mandalas and I would take a larger plate and then try and center a smaller plate and draw around them and then maybe a bowl. I never did quite get them perfectly even. Of course, you know, I'm not a big one for measuring things. But anyways, I've always had a compass. And I don't know why I never thought to use it. But after I figured that out, mandalas were so much simpler for me. So that's what we're going to do today. Just as a, I'll just show you some of the things that I've thought of. And we'll make some mandalas. So the first thing is that because this is a cheap compass, we'll need our little what we bought for pokey tools. And we will tighten up the screw in our compass just to make sure that it's holding tightness, and that's to hold it so that it doesn't slip in and out easily. All right, so and you have to do that every so often. So and then because of the fact that this is not super tight and your pencil slides some, you don't want to be partway around the circle and have the pencil slip and change the outside edge of your circle. So what I do when you're going to use your compass, what I normally do is I kind of line them up pretty much even. Now, some people find it easier to extend them a little bit for different size circles or make them shorter. Most of the time I do this unless I'm making a really small or a really large circle. Then sometimes I will adjust the pencil. But what I do is to get that to not move on me, I'm just going to take one of our clips and I'm just going to clip that on the back of the compass and on the pencil. And that helps hold it so that it's not really slippery. So and then to use a compass, and I know this may sound silly that everyone knows, but not always does everyone know. So you put your point down, and however wide you have the distance between your point and your pencil, this is probably between 1.5 and 2 inches. Let's say it's 1.5 inches. That means your circle will be a 3-inch circle because this is only half of the circle, the other half will be over here. So the closer together, the smaller the circle. And you do have your measurements here. So like this will tell you that that is 1 inch right there. So that will make a 2-inch circle. So if I put that right in the center, and I haven't measured my paper, but you just put it there and then you just draw around. And you have a 2-inch circle. So, and a lot of times I don't pick it up at all. I just leave it there and maybe make it just a little bit bigger so that I have a bigger circle. And my wrist is not really wanting to like twist much, so I adjust my hand a lot. I don't really twist it as far as I possibly could. Because my wrist doesn't like that. So, you know, you can, a lot of times I will like hold on to it and then, you know, move my hand a little bit so that it doesn't hurt my hand. Don't think you have to do it all in one motion. Don't think that you have to twist your hand to make it work. You just continue on going. So now there's a little tiny hole in the center where our little needle went in. And sometimes I start out by just putting a dot, and that's where I put the point of our compass. But there is a hole there. And so then what you do is in your, what is this? Protractor. In the protractor, there are little holes. And this hole is right, if I put this right on the hole that I just made, that will give me a straight line right here, and the line for what you're measuring is just above and then right down the center. So if you'll notice, this is up about 1/4 inch, that line, but if you'll notice, your 180 is up about 1/4 inch over here, and the 0, do it this way so you can really see it, the 0 is about 1/4 of an inch up here. So this is the center cross of your circle. So then if you want to make some straight lines, you just hold that right on the circle, and then you can, let's say we want to do, we want to divide it into quarters. So that would be, we would mark it at 90 and at 0 and at 180. Of course, we need another one, so we're just going to turn it over, and we're going to line up not only the little circle in the middle, but we're going to line up our 0 and our 180 here to make sure that we are actually, and I'm going to put a little mark here because I can't see it. So I'm going to put that on the middle and then line up my lines and then mark it here at 90. So now we've evenly divided this circle into 4 pieces. Now we can go ahead and, if we want to, let's put a mark on our outside circle. So now this is if you want to make sure that everything is very much symmetrical. I don't always do this. A lot of times I just go ahead and I just start making marks and lines, and I don't care if they're exactly symmetrical, but if you want to make sure they are. So now we can take the point of our compass and we can put it on that outside circle, and I'm going to, do I want to go right to the center? We can. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to start, I put my point on our mark. I'm going to go to the edge of the circle and just go right around just like that. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to go to the next mark, start at the outside of the circle, and go just like that. Go to our next mark, start at the outside circle, right on that mark, and do that one more time. And this is going to make half of a flower petal. Just like that. Oops. Okay, so now what we're going to do, we've got our 4 lines over here, but now we're going to start on one of those lines and come to the outside. And now we're going to do it every single line. We just, like, we don't have a line here yet. And we are going to just keep right on going. And it will fill in our flower all the way around, whether there's a line there or not. If it's not there yet, it will get there by the time we go all the way around. And so just keep moving to the next line over. I've already got one there. And here. And that's going to fill in one of those spots where it was missing. And go here. And they just make really pretty flowers by doing this. So every 4th one, you're going to run into a spot where you've already got one, and that's because that's your original 4. This is just a really nice way to make a flower that is very symmetrical. And we've already got one there. And this is going to fill in our last spot. So here we go. Now we have this look. Now you can make decisions on what you want to do. You can continue with the compass. You can use the protractor to do different things, you know, to make different measurements. Let's say, let's make a larger circle around the outside edge that we haven't done anything yet. So I'm going to just put this right back in the middle. I'm going to extend this out a bit and just do one more circle. Because you don't need to use your compass and your protractor to do everything. So now let's say, let's just go ahead and start Let's go, do I want to go straight up? No, I think I'm going to go in the center and just go to the outside edge. And then this is just going, and now I'm not measuring this, but you can, you can do this however you want. To me, I just find that I do whatever feels right at the time, whatever I feel like doing, and then I really enjoy it. If I wind up trying to make it too much like everything has to be exact, I don't enjoy it as much, and I really start getting maybe a little bit frustrated or, just really tense because I'm trying to make it perfect. So now we've just divided that up like that, and you can leave it just like that. Or you can say, I think maybe I will just put a little swoosh from here to here all the way around. And then the thing is, you can cut these out, put them on the front of cards, put them in your journals. You can do all sorts of things with these. And you don't have to cut them out round. You can cut them out like we can cut them along these lines that we're doing here, and then up, and or like this, and then cut it down, and then cut here and cut down, so that you've got kind of a little, almost looks like a saw blade. So you don't have to cut them as a circle. But see, that's a really nice mandala just like it is. And some mandalas are so detailed. And sometimes if I just want to color, I want to color something more like this than I do one that has all of that detail, because it takes me forever to try and get it done. So, but we got the colored pencils so that we could color them. And also our markers work really well. And I like to use the two together. So a lot of times I like to outline with the markers and then color with the colored pencils. And I'm just going to show you a few that I've done. So I've done this one, and, so I just colored in on the lines, and some places I went ahead and colored on the lines. In other places, I just added my own lines, like in this area, just like I did here. And I like the way that looks. Now, cutting it out, I'm just going to use these scissors. What I was talking about as far as cutting it out goes, because this is how I planned on cutting this one. And then the other thing is that you can put your colored pencils in there and use your colored pencils to make your lines. You do not have to use the regular pencil that comes with it. You can put anything in there. Excuse the dogs. You can put anything in there that fits. I try not to stretch it out too much because it already doesn't like to hold real well. But, you can just play with it. They're only $1.25. So, if you decide that you want to make it to hold bigger, something that's larger, and that's going to stretch it out, you could have one to hold larger pens or pencils and have one to hold regular pens and pencils. But we're just going to, I just want to show you what it looks like when you cut it out, just because I really like the different shapes instead of just the plain old circles. And I don't know if that makes it not a mandala, if it's not a circle anymore. But it doesn't really matter, because to me, it's whatever I want to do is what I do. And then it's my work, and I can do with it what I want to. Just like your work is your work, and you can do it however you want to, and there's not a right or wrong. So long as you enjoyed doing it while you were doing it, that's all that counts. It doesn't even matter what the finished project looks like. So, because if you had a good time doing it, then that was worth it. And so there we go. Now we have this shape. It's not actually a circle. And I like doing that. I like cutting out some of the shapes without making it a round circle. So I'm not going to color this today because, it doesn't, that's just going to take some time. And everybody knows how to color. But the other thing, a few other things is, so I did this one, and they look really good on book pages. So this would be really nice to cut it out and put a sentiment maybe in the middle and put it on a card. Or cut it out and put it in your journal. You could even back it with some paper and make it a round journaling spot. So, but I was going to do some more, and after I colored in the dark black, or after I traced the black, I really liked the way it looked. I thought it looked a little oriental. It's not, but I thought it looked that way. And so I just left it like that. I didn't want to go any further. And so I was planning on coloring it and everything, but I liked it. So when I liked it, I quit. You know, you don't have to fill in the whole thing. This one, I am not going to fill in the whole thing either. The white is going to stay white because sometimes I feel like I need to have a little bit of white there just to kind of tone it all back, you know, so that it's not just so busy by having color in every spot. So, and then the other thing is, when I did this, a circle was drawn all the way around here. Well, you can still see right here. See, the line goes across. But these ones don't have that line. And that's because after I decided how I wanted to color them, I just erased those lines. They don't have to stay there. They don't have to be there. And that does not have to be all different sections. You can make that however you want it to be. And I wanted that to be like a flower, so I didn't want those lines in there anymore. Pee-wee, stop. You know, they were sleeping perfectly on the couch. They weren't paying any attention to me, so I came in here to do this video, and then one by one, they all had to come in. So, but they're just play with it and try different things. I like to make this pattern, and that is one circle in the middle, and then I just go to the edge, and I draw a circle from there, and that puts a circle here. I put my point over here, and that makes a circle here. I put a point here, put a circle at the top, put a point here, and so these are all the same size circle. And then once I get those 4 done, then I just come over to this side and just do these 4 circles that way. So, you know, the sky is the limit on what you can do with these. And once you've done them, you can do them just to color. There doesn't have to be any more reason than I want to color, and I don't have an adult coloring book. Personally, I have a ton of them. I don't use them because they really are busy. And so it's just too much for me. A lot of times I just want to sit down and I want to do a project that actually gets finished. You know, this one did not take me that long to finish. Maybe an hour or something to draw it and to color it. But, you know, it's just one of those things where sometimes I want easy. A lot of times I want easy. But sometimes I don't want that huge detail. And so, you know, this one is even busier than that one. But like I said, as this one goes, I could erase the lines that are in the center here. Erase part of the flower here, or the petals. So that looks like this petal. That will make that petal look like it's going behind these petals, because these petals will be completely erased. And this petal will have these lines erased, but the other petals will come over. I guess I should trying to explain something that it's easier for me to show than to tell. So what I'm going to do is erase all of the lines inside this petal. Okay, and of course I would do a better job of it. So this petal goes right here. Okay, and then for this one, I will only erase the parts of the circle. Just the circle parts, but not the flower petal parts. Then on the next one, erase everything that's inside that petal. And the next one, just the circle. Just the original circles. So what happens is this is a full petal, and this is a full petal, and this is only a part of a petal. And my eraser's almost gone too, so that is not helping it. Okay. So this petal looks like it's on top. This one looks like it's behind. This one looks like it's on top. This one looks like it's behind. And again, on top. And then I will erase just the circle portions, not this part, because that's part of this petal. And that will be part of this petal. So, you know, you can just... Pee-wee, stop. She's so bossy to the boys, and she's a little tiny dog, and they're both big dogs. So that is making your own mandalas. It was a quick one today. It's an easy one, but it is so much fun. It is something that I really enjoy doing, and I thought it would be something great for you to have in your stash because you can do lots and lots of things with these. You want to cut out some circles. You don't want to draw around a cup. You know, you can make it all the same size. Just take it and, you know, make a bunch of circles, cut them out. You know, they really do come in very handy. And even if you have a cheap one, hooking it with a clip like this, just clipping your pencil on, and when you can put the colored pencils in there, and they are, you know, they're longer than the regular pencil, so when you put them in, it kind of holds it out a little bit right here. And so what I do, again, because this is still slippery, and so I put it where I want it, lengthwise, and then just clip the pencil to the back side, and that holds it there, and now that holds it so that it doesn't slip. And like I said, you can use your colored pencils to draw these in case you want to draw them in color instead of in regular pencil. I like to draw them in regular pencil because it erases easier. But if you don't want to erase it, then you don't need to worry about that at all, and it's already in color. So, and I also do not bother trying to erase before I draw these lines. I like to see the pencil underneath my marker here. So that's today's really simple, easy project. And again, doing it on book pages is really fun. Making something that's, you know, different than a mandala, like a block of circles. And I know that's probably really hard to see, but I like making these blocks of circles. Make them a little bit smaller, and they make a really cute front of a journaling card. And so that's it. And for next week, I remembered and I have it. For next week, it's another really simple, quick one. But for next week, we are going to buy a stapler, and we are going to buy some staples for the stapler if your stapler doesn't come with staples. They used to come with staples, but so we have $2.50 and buy a stencil or some stickers or just something else to play with since we're not spending that much. So we have $2.50, $3.75, which means we will put $3.75 in our bank. I hope that you enjoyed this project. I really have fun with this. Thank you very much for stopping by. I appreciate each and every one of you, and I hope that you all have an outstanding day. Bye-bye.